What is up, noobs and noobettes? It's your boy Tingles and welcome back to another video. So today's video is just going to be a fuckload of tips I'm going to share with you guys, and hopefully they're going to prepare you for boots on the ground, because let's face it guys, the past 3 Call of Duties have not been boots on the ground. So a lot of things have changed, playstyles have changed, things that are advantageous in the game have changed. So hopefully you guys can have the appropriate mindset going into boots on the ground, and hopefully you're able to implement these things. Don't feel like you have to go back to an older COD that is boots on the ground to practice these tips. Feel free to practice them on whatever Call of Duty you're playing right now. Just have the appropriate mindset guys, and make sure you're thinking about the decisions that you're making. Either way, let's jump straight into this shit. Now I know the gameplay in the background isn't exactly showing off what I'm sharing with you guys, but hopefully you guys do get where I'm coming from, and yeah, I'm looking forward to all you guys beasting and telling me how well you're playing in World War II. The first thing I wanted to mention is using power positions. This includes things like head glitches or just general positions that give you an advantage over the enemy team and allow you to hold off high traffic areas. This will help both you and your teammates a lot and will help you win the game. So, what are things you want to be looking out for? Obviously, as I mentioned, you want to be using head glitches, but you also want to know how to stay on a head glitch. Obviously, just standing there is going to be very beneficial for you, but once people get their aim on you, you're pretty much screwed. So you want to get used to doing things like crouching and standing back up, or just strafing side to side, just to move in and out of that head glitch and allow you to stay alive for as long as possible. Even if you're not killing people, you're still being a nuisance to the enemy team, and you're buying your teammates more time to come and help you out. Get used to doing this. It's going to save your ass. The next thing you want to do is to avoid jump shotting every gunfight. Gone be the days where the jump shot is going to be saving your ass every gunfight. I know how fucking overpowered it is in IW. Basically, if you're not jump shotting in IW, you're putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. The reason it's so overpowered is that your aim barely moves when you're thrusting, so you're pretty much able to laser people across map while still flying around like you're some sort of fucking airplane or some shit. Avoid doing this guys. As tempting as it is, try to win gunfights using tactics. Block lines of sight, use head glitches, dip into cover, whatever you need to do. Just avoid flying over objects and picking people off, because that shit just won't be working anymore. Also, what you want to do is, if you haven't already, if you're using the default layout, make sure you swap to tactical layout guys. The drop shot is going to be very powerful in the next Call of Duty. It always is in boots on the ground. It even is in this game, man. A lot of people think it's not that useful. I'm always freaking destroying people because I drop shot. People just don't realize that drop shotting is a very effective tool, and if used at the correct time, it is absolutely deadly. Start drop shotting some fools. Now the next thing you want to do is probably lowering your sensitivity. I know me personally, I increase my sensitivity a lot for these new games, and the reason for that is people are just flying around everywhere, man. If you fly over someone, you want to be able to quickly look down and shoot at them, or quickly spin around and shoot at them, but this will not be the case in the next Call of Duty. People are moving around a lot slower, so you won't need to be swinging your aim and trying to snap targets as much as you are in the movement Call of Duties. I know me personally, I'm probably going to go back to a 5 sensitivity. Right now I'm rocking a 7 because I felt like I really needed it when I'm flying over people, but I definitely think 5 is going to be a lot more useful. Because people won't be flying around everywhere, you're going to have to put a lot of focus into centering your aim and pre-aiming specific areas, and you're better off being laser accurate as opposed to being quick. Keep this in mind. Obviously the decision is up to you, but if you have increased your sensitivity for the movement Call of Duties, I would highly recommend lowering that bitch. And now next up, you want to be playing a lot more passively guys. Rushing around like a headless chicken will not work anymore in the next Call of Duty. You bet your ass people are going to be sitting on head glitches, they're going to be sitting back, they're going to be being a lot more patient because they don't have their slide and their thrust to be helping them out in every gunfight. You need to accept this, you need to start getting a lot more patient, and hopefully you're able to implement this, man. It might take a while and it might piss you off at the start. Trust me, you're going to be running out like an idiot, you're going to be getting killed, only to realize this shit ain't going to be working. Whenever you turn a corner, you want to quickly peek it, dip back behind cover and then run out. You never want to just sprint around the corner, because if there's someone there, you're pretty much screwed, man, especially if they're waiting for you. This wasn't as important in CODs like IW because you could literally just come around the corner flying or just slide around the corner. You're not able to do this anymore. You're going to be moving a lot more slowly, guys. Make sure you're not sprinting around corners, because when you're sprinting, it takes the longest for you to pull up your gun and you're pretty much fucked, man. There is no way you're going to be killing someone that's waiting on a head glitch if you're sprinting around the corner. You need to learn the maps, you need to learn where the power positions are, and you need to make sure you're always prepared to pick people off those bitches. To build onto this, you obviously want to be moving from cover to cover. Again, in games like IW, you don't need to be doing this. You can literally just be bouncing around like a kangaroo using your thrust, especially if you're using propulsion, and you really need to break this habit, guys. You want to avoid staying out in the open, because when you're out in the open, you literally can't do anything other than shoot back. Whereas if you have cover nearby, you can quickly dip behind it, you can make decisions, and you can buy yourself more time. This is a big thing in Call of Duty, and if you're not playing with this mentality, then you're going to be getting killed a lot more than you're used to, and odds are you're going to be getting really pissed off. And you guys know, when you're angry, you start playing like shit, man. Avoid getting angry, build your patience, and change your playstyles. And now the last thing I wanted to mention is snapping targets. This hasn't been as important in the past few years, but again, building off everything else, things have changed, guys. Things that you're used to and things that work will no longer work. You need to change your playstyle, and you need to get used to snapping targets. The only thing you have going for you in World War II is how quickly you can react and how quickly you can get your aim on people. This is why things like changing your sensitivity, not sprinting around corners, knowing power positions, and being prepared for gunfights is going to be really important. You don't have the movement to help you get out of gunfights anymore. You need to rely on your reactions and on your aim, and make sure you're improving these. Do whatever it takes, man. Hop into a match with bots just so you don't have to be versing people online that are flying around, and just practice snapping every target that you see. What I mean by snapping is, as soon as you see a target, you want to instantly aim at them, and you want to make sure you're shooting and aiming at the same time. Don't wait till you're aiming down sight at them to start shooting. Just start shooting as soon as you're aiming down sight, man. You never know, one of those hip-fire bullets might hit them, and that just makes it a lot easier for you to kill them, because it'll take one less shot. Make sure you're focusing on little things like this, guys, and I promise you, you're going to be tearing ass like it ain't no thing. And that's pretty much it, guys. I know some of these things might have been a bit obvious, but trust me, a lot of people look past this. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, don't feel like you have to go back to a boots on the ground Call of Duty to practice these. Just go in with the same mentality when you're playing these new Call of Duties. Sure, you might get a bit frustrated because other people are sliding and are thrusting as well, but this isn't going to help them in the next COD, man. And I cannot fucking wait to verse all the people that have just been thrusting around with Synaptic, thinking they are the best players. They're going to have a rude awakening, and we are going to tear all their asses up, man. Make sure you're implementing these, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. The next Call of Duty is going to be a big change, guys. It's going to be a lot slower, hopefully not too slow. I'm going into it with positive thoughts, and hopefully Sledgehammer are able to meet our expectations, man. Either way, that's pretty much it for this video. If you did enjoy it, if you found it useful, make sure you hit that like. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. That's pretty much it for now. I'll catch you all in the next one. Hopefully you did enjoy the gameplay. Until next time, peace out, noobs.